All right, just a quick follow-up to a video I did a few weeks ago on Foreigner. And in that video, kind of talked about Foreigner's history and the fact that the band that was kind of touring currently, or is touring currently, doesn't really have any original members because Mick Jones is there once in a while, comes out for a couple of songs, at least for certain shows, but other ones he's not there at all. And, as a lifelong Foreigner person and really thinking about it, even though I do like Kelly Hansen, I think he's been about as good as a replacement as you can. I mean, you're never going to replace Lou Gramm. He's irreplaceable in that group as far as I'm concerned. I mean, Mick and Lou really were the driving force behind the band as far as songwriting. So, as it turns out, just this past week, Foreigner announced that this would be it. They're going to have a farewell tour. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be an actual farewell, not the, hey, we're retiring and then we come back 2 years later and but it does seem like they're calling it quits here, and they're going to finish up with a tour with Loverboy opening up for them, which is pretty cool. And I think they're doing the right thing. They've had their share of criticism about the band, and my thought was, had they been putting out more material, I mean, they did put Can't Slow Down out some 12, 13 years ago. It was a decent album. And had they been making more music along the way, I think that transition to kind of newer members would have been a little bit easier, but they really haven't been doing that. And they are singing songs that were written by other people, and Mick's just physically not able to be out there, unfortunately. So I think they're making the right move. I don't know if I'm going to try to see him or not on this final tour. In fact, the Loverboy's with him kind of makes me more inclined to do it. But I'm not sure. But I think they're making the right move. I think it's just time to call it. And, kind of selfishly, I would love to see, like Jeff Pilson, for example. One of his other groups is Black Swan. I would love for them to tour. I would go see them in a heartbeat. Their 2 albums that they've released the last couple of years are just fantastic. If you haven't heard those, you should. They're a little bit harder, but they're really, really good. Generation Mind came out earlier this year, and for me, that could be the album of the year. It's just phenomenal, and Jeff Pilson had a lot to do with that. So, maybe allows some of these guys to do some other projects. I'm not sure what Kelly Hansen would do. But Foreigner ending, I think, is appropriate. Sad in some ways that you can't continue with some of the original members. But on the flip side, Lou Gramm is still touring here and there. There was a recent interview with him over these last couple of days where he talked about continuing to tour. I mean, I thought he was going to retire a couple of years ago. It kind of sounded like he would, but now he just does select dates. But he's got some new material that he plans on releasing as an album, apparently. And as far as I know, I think these are songs that he was working on, back in the day when he was doing, I'm sure, his solo stuff. And of course, as we know, not every song makes it to the album. So he's got some stuff from the past that he's apparently fine-tuning and finishing up. So that's really exciting. Can't wait to hear that. I think that would be, new music from him, whether it's old solo material or Shadow King type material or even Foreigner material. And I know that he and Mick were working on they had some other songs kind of in the hopper too. I would love for those to see the light of day. And I don't know if he can do that on his own or if he needs, Mick's approval as well, if they co-wrote the stuff. But whichever way, I would love to hear all that. So look forward to Lou Gramm putting out, I mean, it sounds like he's going to put out a new album, or I don't know if he would just put it on streaming services or whether you could get it as a CD, but it's been way too long for material from these guys in some way, shape, or form. So can't wait to hear that. So that's it. Just wanted to do a quick update on the situation. But again, I think Foreigner's doing the right thing. And we'll see if it's actually a farewell tour, but I'm thinking that it is. I don't think this is going to be something where they come back a few years later. So that's it for now. Until next time.